guys, I'm Zach Craig with McDonald ATV. Welcome back for another installation video from our Armor Tech cab line. What we have here today is a 570 crew bike, and we're going to show you how to install our safari rack. Now what we have here is our 530S, which is our safari rack for our front top on our 570. Now what we have here is our 530SX, which is our extension piece for our 570X piece here, which will bring our safari rack all the way to the back of your cab. Now, a couple of tools you'll need for this installation process is a 7/16 wrench or gear wrench to speed things up a little bit. Once again, a Phillips screwdriver, preferably a P3 bit to help prevent stripping, and or a P3 bit and an impact driver or a drill. You will need a drill with a 13/64 bit and a 5/16 bit. Excuse me. I'll show you how well they come into play later on. You'll also need some silicone to silicone around our bolts and our holes. So we're starting off with our 530S. This is our bag of hardware that comes with it. It comes with some 1-inch bolts, some lock nuts, some flat washers, some 5/8 bolts, lock washers, and some regular nuts here. Okay, now this is going to be our back piece, and you'll kind of want to lay everything out like this. This is our sides, and this is our front piece here. First thing we want to do, if we want to get all this put together, you want to take your front piece here and one of our side pieces we'll start off with. Now, on our side piece we've got a little tab right here, and our side piece will actually mount over the top of our tab right there. We'll take a 5/8 bolt, stick it through a hole right here. Then we'll take our lock washer and our nut and get them started on the back side here. And we'll take our 7/16 wrench, our impact, and we can go and tighten these all the way down. Normally, this step is where we would usually take our back and line it up with our holes right here. So now, since you have a crew bike, we'll save that for later, and we'll now open up our 530SX, which is our extension piece, which is basically just going to extend our safari rack out and give us a little bit more room here. You'll take your extension and simply find the notch right here. Our place where our notch goes towards the front, and we'll slide it into our side pieces, and it'll just slide in right there. We'll go ahead and put one of our 5/8 bolts in, and again a lock washer and a nut on the back side here, and go ahead and tighten them all the way down. Once again, on the other side, we'll find where our notch is. That'll be our front side, and slide it right in. And we'll do the same thing we just did on the other side. Okay, now we'll come with our back piece in here. On our tabs, our extension piece will overlap over that tab where these holes are. And we'll get a bolt through, and once again we'll take our lock washer and our nut and get her tied down. Tighten everything down now, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, when we're done putting this all together, you should have your side, your extension piece, your rear, your front. Get a buddy to help you grab the other side, and we'll go ahead and stick it on the top. Now, when you're lining the front, you have a lip right here, and our top has a crease that has a down slope angle. we want to line our crease right there, right on top of that slope of our brake line here. Now we've got our Safari up right here on our top. We got it lined up and positioned right. We want to take a silver Sharpie, or you can use a white pen, paint pen, anything that will show up on this black surface here. We're going to need to go through here, and we have holes that are broken our lip. We got one back here. I'm going to make a mark right there and just go around all of our surfaces here and make a mark. That way now we have all of our holes marked, so we'll need to grab a buddy and take it back down off the top and set it to the side just for now so we can start drilling our holes. So we marked all our holes. Now we marked 2 holes in the front of our cab, and for those we'll be using our 5/8 thread cutter bolt. If you look on the side of the bolt, it will have little teeth that will cut the threads of the bolt. Now we'll need to pre-drill our hole first with a 13/64 bit. Now it's very critical that you use a 13/64 bit to pre-drill our holes to ensure that our thread cutter will go in properly and will hold our front top down. Alright, for our front holes we'll use our bit there. Now, for the rest of the cab, we have 1-inch regular bolts. We'll actually drill a hole and we'll just slide those all the way through and put a nut on the back side. For that, you'll need a 5/16 drill bit and your drill, of course. Now we'll come back and drill out the rest of our holes with our drill bit. Shit. We've now got all of our holes drilled in our top. We got our top back on here, got everything lined back up, and it's time for our bolts to go in. Now before all of our bolts go in and we secure this thing, keep mindful that you will need your silicone, and just give them a little dab on your holes before we install our bolts. Now we are on the front of our bike. This is where our 13/64 holes were drilled for our thread cutter bolts, because you can't get to them on the back side. There's a channel there, you can't get a nut to the back side, so we're going to use our thread cutter bolt today. We'll get them down there. Your side lined up. Yes, it was. Now on top of the bike, we got our holes pre-drilled. We're going to take our 1-inch bolt and go ahead and install all of our bolts in our holes that we have drilled here today and get those put down in there. We've got all our Safari rack on, we've got our bolts poking through our holes up underneath here. Now we're going to take our flat washer and our lock nut that came in our bag assembly, and we're going to put it on. But before we apply that, we'll take some silicone and just run it around our bolt here, just to ensure that we won't have any leakage. I'll apply a washer, get our nut started. Now you can go ahead and tighten all this down once all your bolts are through. And this is where our gear wrench comes into play, or just a regular 7/16 wrench. But for me, I'm going to use a gear wrench. Now our Polaris rack is installed. Throw any kind of gear, whatever you may need, throw up there, insert some pipes to the holes. That's what it's there for. Enjoy it on your next ride. We'll catch you next time.